to push that back really far. You want to tell everybody how you... Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Jim's going to move the tripod back a little bit so we're all in there. There you go, bubby. I know, you want to brush. Because Mommy brushed her hair. So this is what happens when Mommy brushes her hair in the living room. Okay, sit. Sit. I'll do it. Oh, my goodness. What a nice... Oh, what... Oh, that's... Is that my favorite? You're only allowed to use the... You're only allowed to use the horse hairbrush on her head and her neck. Okay, we'll sit down. I'll do it. So she's awake now. This is her nap time. Getting close to her nap time. I wanted to show you guys what it's like when Oreo needs her nap, and we can tell. This is what it is. She doesn't. Not that she doesn't listen to commands, but it takes excessive reminding. Hey, look at me. Like that.
Mary Long and Jesse the
Hi,
Cook and Gypsy.
Oreo, enough. We're not biting the brush today, honey.
So is
Thank you. Good morning.
Chandra
Good morning.
from
C-H?
Oreo.
Oh, I thought you said. Oh, that was the Chandra that.
Yeah, Hinkle.
Yeah, that Cece was like, hey.
Yeah.
She's just gonna eat this, so.
She's starting to get to that like nap mode.
Okay.
Nipping and.
Okay. You ready to go sweeps?
Oreo.
Are you ready to go sweeps? Are you ready to go sweeps? Need nap time?
Why don't you lay down there? Just lay down right there.
Whew. Well, part of that is that Mommy had a rough night. I went to wound care on Wednesday, and they put the silicone bandages on that are supposed to last a week, and they were doing so well. And literally last night when I laid down, I said, I thought maybe it was psychological. Trust me, I thought it was psychological. Last night I laid down and I said, Jim, they're doing so good. We just leave them. You know, they've been since Wednesday, and they're just really doing good. They're not bothering me. I said a little, you know, the edges of the bandage. He goes, oh, that one's rolling up a little bit. So I see that. And I was like, okay. So, and I lay on my stomach, and I try to keep my back off the chair most of the day. It's hard to do that when I vlog, though, because I can't really vlog from, like, a rolled over position. Anyhow, the middle of the night, they just started so bad, and I had to, like, wake him up. It was, like, 3 o'clock in the morning. They woke me up. They were so itchy, and I had him just pull the bandages off, and I thought that would relieve it. And he's like, they're really goopy under here, and then we did a whole, like, well, we tried to do, like, a really quick treatment, and that didn't work. I had to, like, get him right back up again. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Please get the clobetasol, which is the,
You want to go outside?
yeah, we'll take her for her walk and then her nap?
Yeah.
Okay. We will warn you there might be some barking because the man across the street is on his John Deere mowing.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Doing the lawn.
Yeah, doing his lawn. And,
You want my iPod or iPad so you can see what they're saying?
No. Oh, I meant to put it on the TV. If you
Yeah.
guys give me a second, I meant to put the comments on the TV. I might be able to see a little bit better. Let's see. Go to the library.
Oh, I gotta get her leash. Oh, no, I don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say you brought it out this morning. Jim, for those of you just joining us, why is the camera all the way over here? I'm just lowering the volume on the TV. Jim got up this morning. He's been trying to get up earlier every day just to get, like, because it's so hot, he's trying to get, like, outside stuff done early in the morning. But, of course, he's on the struggle bus. He's not a morning person. When he was working at the other job where he had, like, where he was a morning person, like, he had to be a morning person, it's a lot different because if you can keep busy the whole time, I am totally, like, in the shadows. He didn't even say anything, but he looks, usually when he looks on the iPad, he'll tell me, like, that's a terrible view, you can't even, nobody can see you. Not today, huh? And hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Oh, there we go. Let's try that. Let's make him move. He's not the one that has several pillows in his back. He'll probably sit closer to me now that Oreo's gonna go take her nap. Anyhow, yeah, so, let me know if I'm still in the shadows. It looks like I'm in the shadows of the ring light. Like, that's weird. Anyway. So, last night what he ended up doing was to put on the clobetasol, which is the prescribed anti-itch steroid, topical steroid, because that really helps relieve it. And he just covered me with a shirt. Like I finally was the first time in a long time able to sleep with like no shirt on me all over. So I just laid with the shirt on my back and laid on my stomach. And I fell back to sleep because I was so tired. And I woke up at like, I don't know, 5:30, 6 o'clock to go to the bathroom. And I did. And then when he woke up this morning, he let me sleep because he woke up. Bye, baby. Have a good sweeps, okay? I will see you when you wake up.
What?
Oh, what? I love you. Go ahead. You have a good sweeps. She ate enough breakfast, Jim? Or else she's be crabby? She did, right? You said?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just trying to figure out why she might be crabby. I still am in shadow from the ring light, I think. I think the ring light is blocking the sunlight. That's what's happening. This is how not to do a live stream 101. Definitely prepare yourself. Get your camera angles ready. The problem is with YouTube, unless you have, like you see these people have dedicated cameras to themselves, it's hard to know exactly the position. Good Lord. Heavenly Father, would you please help me move this tripod? Thank you and have a nice day. Okay. Probably should have been there the whole time, which is kind of like in front of me. Anyhow, so then we had to do back wounds and da-da-da. So I didn't get out of here. Like, that's why it's late already. I didn't come out here till about 11:30. And I was like, then he had trouble making coffee, poor thing. We have to do a deep clean on the Keurig because it keeps getting coffee grounds in the coffee, and he hates that. And I'm not crazy about it, but I know that if you let them settle and you drink, 95% of your coffee, you can skip the last couple of sips that'll have coffee grounds in it. So he said I gotta take the machine apart. You guys know how to do a clean Keurig? This still looks really dark. It's so weird. Is it my TV? Could it be my TV? Am I in shadow? Does anybody see that there's a shadow like right here? Or is that just my TV? It's very strange. It's very strange. The whole right side of my TV looks dark. Like, this whole right side looks dark. And I'm not sure if it's... I just thought I was in shadow, but then I moved it. But, anyhow. Oh, do I not have the live chat up? That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Okay, hold on, let me see. I think this is... Okay. I don't think the live chat's up, Jim.
Huh?
I don't think the live chat is up, or nobody's talking right now. I'm not 100% sure what's happening.
Okay. Well,
No, I can't really see your tablet though, hon. People just look at the top of your head when you're reading the comments. I've told you that a million times. Oh, it's better now. That was weird. Anyway, it doesn't look like the chat's on. He'll fix it for me. I still can't see the TV, even with the eye shots. I still can't see the minutia of the TV, like in those little tiny things. And if I can't change the subtitles, it's a mess. But anyhow, there may not be anybody here anymore. Because I'm not even seeing things come across my phone. So it might just be nobody chatting.
well, there's 55 people here.
Jim, I was trying to move this because it was all shadow on the left side.
Okay, do you
But
want
now-
me to close the curtains or something?
No, I mean, I don't need you to, but can you
Okay.
fix this so that you're not, yeah, it's like more even, Stevens. Yeah, and then tilt it, wait, tilt it, because you're going to cut your head off right there.
Oh, so what?
Take your hand, put it over the phone and go like that. The man does know that I have OCD and stuff, right? Like, because of the ADHD. She's just going to make me nuts. I won't look. I just won't look.
I'm not cut off, you goober.
I know you're not cut off. It's not even, though.
Oh my goodness.
Stay. Sorry. Okay.
Alright, let's see here. Wendy Long has said, when I see you are going live, I instantly stop what I'm doing and start watching your live.
Aw, that's so sweet.
Amy says, good morning.
Hold on, before you do that, can you get the live chat up here? One of those buttons up there will be to participate in the live chat.
Next, right there, live chat.
Okay. Yay. There we go. Yay. He helped me turn it on.
Let's see here.
I was asking if that was in shadow. Do you see how I look like I'm in shadow there on the whole left side of the...
Jesse says you're perfect.
Aw. Thank you,
Kathy Driver says, hi, Jeri-Ann and Jim. Great to see you guys.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, Mary Long even says everything looks fine to me.
Thank you.
Susan Brown said, I don't see a shadow, but I see you way in the right of the screen.
We fixed that since then, hopefully.
Then we have a Toni.
Tony.
Tony G says, dogs take naps, question mark, thought babies did. Dogs need
Go ahead,
exercise and playtime.
So she's had that. So what happens is with Oreo, and I just give me a second to answer that question.
Well, I wasn't done reading it.
Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry. Exercise and playtime.
I think the dog should be rehomed. He should have never... You know what, Tony?
No, finish what she's saying.
Should have never gotten in the first place.
How come? I'm just curious why she feels that way.
Oreo is not a he.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's okay. So, no, Oreo, actually, since we got her, to be honest, she has done this thing where she's, she eats, she plays, she poops. Usually she eats, she goes out potty, she runs around. She comes inside, she plays with me and Nanny. We do catch, we do tug of war, we do bones. If Jim's feeling well that day or not tired or doesn't have something else like work-wise to do, he'll sit on the floor and he'll do wrestling with her, and he does the cutest thing where he like rubs her belly. It's just the cutest thing ever. And then what happens is as the day goes on, she'll start to like nip for treats, and she does nip. She just gets nippy. She uses her teeth way more than she does the rest of the day. And that's how we know that she's getting tired. However, we've tried napping out here. It's so distracting. It's just best to put her in her kennel, put the cover on her kennel, put her little puppy music on, and she naps. And she needs it. When she wakes up, she's a whole new puppy again, just like in the morning. She's just excited to play, and she's just kind and obedient. And not that I need her to be obedient, but you know what I mean. Don't jump on people, don't nip on people. Play gentle, especially with Nanny. We're really trying to train her to be gentle with my mother-in-law because she is so frail, as just her size and everything is so frail right now. Her skin is very tender, so we just really want to make sure that she's gentle with Nanny. So she's learning. But she is a big old scaredy cat. She, the reason that the nipping started just now, and I think the nap needed to come a little earlier, is because like I showed you, the guy took the John Deere out, and she started to get like her anxiety kick in. And honestly, for those of you who know about dogs, kennels are their safe space. So not only does she get nippy and she needs a nap, but she really wants to go into her safe space. She is what Jimmy likes to call sometimes a little green-eyed monster. So if him and I are sitting too close together, she wants to come right between us, which is funny. But I know that's very typical for her. But no, Tony, she's actually a really loved, spoiled rotten, very good dog.
She's actually got more toys than I do now.
Jim, I'm training Jim. Jim's training. If that was the case, we'd need another house. I'm just saying. If Jim needs training, because Jim just wants to always yell Oreo, 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 like she does. I'm trying to tell him, if you guys are learning, just yelling her name's not going to do anything. You have to give her the command. She's still a puppy, so she's not just... If an adult dog, an adult dog knows what they're doing wrong, and you yell their name, they're going to stop. But you have to teach the puppies to recognize what they're doing wrong.
Jessie said she's still a puppy and they exhaust easily.
Oh yes, big time. I just was talking to Jim that she'll be 8 months on the 1st. So, was that Tuesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
Tuesday, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Lisa's birthday's Monday.
Right.
My bestie's birthday's Monday. My one bestie's birthday's Monday.
Simply Karen says, couldn't you have gotten up to fix the phone the way you wanted it?
I could have actually, 100%. And I ended up, if you keep watching, yes, I did end up doing it myself anyway. The problem is when you're not, when you're adjusting it, you have to be in it. You have to be in the frame. So otherwise, if I sat up to move it where I think it should be, and then I sat back down and it was wrong, I'd have to sit back up again and move it. It's just a lot easier. And Jim will tell you for like when I've helped him do stage his cooking videos and stuff. It's much easier at first to have somebody put it where they can see you the best, and then you know to repeat that pattern. The thing is with me and Jim is we never know where he's going to sit. So right now he's sitting between two chairs. Sometimes he sits with me here, sometimes he sits in his chair, but now right he's between two chairs. So it's like, how do you frame that? And of course we started out with Oreo, not knowing that it was the nipping was going to continue. I just thought she had got excited about the tripod coming out at first and the lawnmower. So then after a few minutes, Jimmy tried to brush her and she was just getting so nippy at the brush. That's when we knew she needed her nap. So
Nippy and pawing. And
yes, well that's I don't just mean with just teeth, but yes, she nips, she grabs, she paws, she more aggressively. Because she will paw like a puppy when she wants your attention, but when she wants something or she's upset, I think I think the tape's on there.
Stephanie says with our two puppies, they would start acting up, and I knew it was nap time.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like a baby, pups and need naps. My pups are older dogs, yet naps. They nap together. Okay.
Yeah, and naps are important, but really what's important for dogs too, just like children, is the schedule. Feeding time around the same time. Even if it's not the same clock time of the day, if it's the same like when we eat breakfast, you eat breakfast. We eat dinner, you eat dinner. When we go to bed, you go to bed. Like those types of routines are really important for dogs, just like children. Now, wild dogs, no. Yard dogs, probably not. They'll just do what they want. But obviously, she's a house dog, and she is going to eventually go into training to be a service dog. So this is just things that will help when that time comes along. So I don't know how far behind the times you are. Like, are we caught up to?
Yeah, we're pretty much caught up.
Okay, no problem, because there's more stuff coming up, so I wasn't sure.
Right. Simply Karen says, are you still going to take her to a professional trainer? At this point in time, no, because I looked it up, and we need.
Well, with Jimmy not working right now, I mean that was the thing is though, there are like, I don't know if you guys were in a live stream a couple of weeks ago when Mary Fry came on. She said to reach out to the Service Dog Association, the local Service Dog Association. So they do offer training, and depending on your need. We just don't know because of how long the classes are. Should we start it here? Do we move first? So we're kind of like talking that out as a family. But anyway, yeah, so we're talking about, is there more comments? I'm sorry.
It's just some Karen going, maybe a trainer can show you how to stop her from the nipping.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know how to stop her from the nipping. Put her to nap. No, I'm just kidding. What I was trying to show you with the brushing and how I had to raise my voice is that's how I know she's tired. If I did a live stream another time during the day, that you could see that she's very obedient. She's a very good dog. Not necessarily for Jim, and I'm not judging Jim, but we're trying to show Jim that you can't just keep yelling her name because then it doesn't carry weight. The example that I used, Jim, if I could tell everybody, the example I used was I was child number 5, and by the time I was like 11, which my mother had been a parent for like 21 years at that point, she stopped listening to mommy. Like, she just stopped. I used to have to call her by her first name. I used to be like, Katie. I'd be like, Mom, Mommy, Katie. Like, Not even Stewie doing the mommy, mama. All those, that was way past. This was like I had to start calling her first name because she was like totally zoned out to her name of mommy. So just repeating her name without a command is just, it's like white noise almost, you know. And I also don't want her to not know her name on command also. So I'm trying to get him to not overuse it to the point where it becomes, she becomes deaf to it.
Yeah. Well, I understand what you're saying. I just calculated how many pets I've had in my lifetime.
Oh, I can't even calculate. Go ahead.
I've had, that I can remember, 4 dogs, 5 cats, 2 parakeets, a hamster, and a snake. So I've dealt with a lot of different types of animals, and I know some animals are more sensitive to vibration and whatnot, like the snake was.
Well, I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought you were done.
The gerbil. The problem I had with the gerbil was it was nocturnal, and it would wake me up in the middle of the night when I was trying
And you
to
weren't
sleep
at the time.
Yeah, because I was still in
A gerbil
school.
would be gone good now because you're a nocturnal creature.
Yeah. Actually, I think the next pet I get, I want a ferret.
Me too, but that's beside the point. Oh gosh, so my family had way more pets, obviously, because I was number 5 in the line. But in my lifetime, I've had 3 cats, not including like Carmen and living with Lisa. Like none of those don't count, just like of my own. We've had 3 cats. Oops, sorry, got to turn my iPad off. Gosh, how many dogs? So when I was born, they had Gus, but don't really remember him. But we had Boots and Duke, and then we had Sugar and Honey, and then we had Red. My brother had Big Red, and then my brother had a Nikita.
Really?
Yeah, he tried. The dog was just too hairy. Like his allergies, he had to like. It was adult. He adopted an adult, or rescued an adult. He had to pass it on. Like basically, he looked at it like it was a foster job at that point. Oh goodness. So Duke, Mama Duke was the dogs that I remember the most were Boots and Mama Duke. Boots was when I was young. Mama Duke we had till I was a teenager. He was a Great Dane. We got him in '76 on Independence Day, the bicentennial. And we had him until Rob was little, so till like 84, 85. So he lived 8, I think. For Great Danes is pretty good. He terrible arthritis, the poor thing. And then, like I said, we had a bunch of dogs afterwards. But yeah, just it's This is our first dog together. It's not like we've never had dogs before. It's just that this is our first dog together. Do you see the side of the TV has a shadow? Is there something casting a shadow on the TV? Like they don't see a shadow on the wall or anything?
I don't know.
Okay. It's freaking me out, guys. I'm sorry. I'm done. It's just that I'm freaked out about it. I was trying to figure out where it's from, and that's just. So there's no Ritalin.
Could be glare out of this window here.
Ew, there's no Ritalin. Yeah, I see. Like it's quick. I gotcha. Okay. Casting a shadow on the TV, not on the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. My doctor did put me on, at my request, I've upped my dose of Cymbalta, which is duloxetine, because I've been feeling super depressed lately. Now, I've been on the antidepressant since my brother passed away. And then before I was diagnosed and I was dealing with my brother's death a lot better, I was still on it because Cymbalta also works with, like, nerve pain. You know, like diabetic retinopathy and that type of thing.
You don't need Cymbalta for dealing with your nerve pains.
Yeah.
Just need to get me out of here and up into the mountains.
I just need a divorce, that's all. Stop. I was just joking. You were joking. I was joking. He squeezed my hand really hard when I said that. And I was like, I was just joking. Yes, that was a joke, sweetheart. I'm sorry.
Let's see here. Jesse says, I wish I lived closer. I would help you train.
Oh, Jesse, I will totally drive to your house right now and you can just come train the dog. I'm fine with that. Me just text me your address in a DM or something. I want to come visit her anyway. She lives like, um, I guess like south, but like southeast where we are right now. So.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember. I
Yeah.
don't remember exactly
Well, I don't want to
where.
tell everybody if she doesn't want to tell everybody. I don't remember if she's told everybody here or if she's told us in private.
Is it think somewhere near the boot hill?
Yeah, she's like towards that way. Um, because we have
The boot.
actually never been down there. I wanted to go to Geneva. Geneva has this little like, oh Genevieve, not Geneva. Oh my God, Genevieve has a like a little historical town. I wanted to see that for a while.
Mm.
And
Wait a
that's
minute.
sort of on like the border.
Wasn't that town in a Ghost Hunters episode or something like that?
No, that's St. Charles. So
Okay.
St. Charles, Missouri, which is north of St. Louis, is got a very haunted downtown. Actually, it's very beautiful if you ever come visit. From pictures, because I haven't actually been there, but they have a cobblestone street still. So
That's
make
the
sure your
original
shocks are
downtown.
good. Make sure your shocks, because shocks are good. But there is
Or the tires are aired up
yeah.
properly.
The ghost, was it Ghost Hunters?
I think it was Ghost Hunters.
No, it's the Tennessee Race Tracers. What was their name?
Oh, Tennessee Race Chasers.
No, but what was the name of their show?
Ghost Asylum?
Well, that was when they were in the asylums, ghost towns.
I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. That's really weird. I just always forget because so this one group of ghost chasers has like a business name. They're the Tennessee Race Chasers, and they have like that's their TWC is like their logo. But they had different shows, and then they had a show, and then one of the guys left, and then they renamed their show and did something a little different. So they just went into asylums for a long time. So they just were like, ghost asylums or asylum chasers or something. No,
Ghost Asylum.
ghost asylum. And then so like they even went to like the famous Jeff City, the penitentiary in Jefferson City is very haunted, very very haunted. And also, side note, Cynthia Nixon's great grandmother was the first female in the prison up there, and she's buried in Leesburg. Well, just you could, the more you know.
Yeah.
You guys notice how I am without my medicine?
Then simply Karen says, can't you get a different ADHD medication?
They're all out. Adderall, Ritalin. I'm using more caffeine as a stimulant to help, but the first half cup doesn't really make a difference. It's when I get to the second cup that I can start to have like a clearer head for thinking.
Yep, I knew it.
But
The reason why we're out of Ritalin and other ADHD medications is because this country has gone off its kilter.
no, apparently they had a terrible fire at the Pfizer factory in
Oh, really?
South Carolina, North Carolina, one of the Carolinas, I think. That's what Mom said. Yeah, she said there are a lot of there's a lot of medications that had there a shortage of because of that.
I did not know that.
I wanted my doctor to just prescribe me double the dose so it can last twice as long, and I would just take half of what she prescribed, so I wouldn't run out again. But that would be cheating.
Yeah. Joyride, I think that's what this is.
Oh, that's
supposed
funny,
to
Joyride.
be. That's what
Spell it.
JORYD65.
Jory.
I got it.
J-U-R. J-U or J-O?
J-O-R.
So Jory. Like, oh, that's a cool name.
Yeah, she says, hi, Jeri-Ann. Jen,
Hi.
I was wondering if you are going to do any more grocery hauls.
I would love to do a grocery haul. Seriously. Right now, because Jim's out of work, we just pick up what we need when we need it. Like, we're not doing big grocery hauls. We were fortunate enough to both do our annual physicals, and we have United Healthcare Community Plan here in Missouri, which is like in their Medicaid expansion. And because we both got our annual physicals, they sent us like a $20 gift card to use on fresh food. And we kind of were saving them because Jim was working, so we really like, oh, we should just save this, and then we did. We ended up using one of those this week, just to get milk and bread and the necessities. So right now, we're just on my SSA that I get on the first. So the end of the month is like stretching it. Um, so yeah, there is. I mean, I do get assistance, but nothing that will make a whole worth a whole grocery haul. But you know, when we get back to it, when we get our life back in the black, it's definitely something we will do.
Okay, Kathy Driver says that she lives in North Carolina and the Pfizer plant got hit by a tornado.
Oh, that's what it was. I knew it got destroyed. I thought it was a fire, she said, but a tornado. Can you imagine if it was a fire? I just realized with all those chemicals. Oh my God, would that be terrible? So it got hit by a tornado. Thank you, Kathy, for that. Again, my brain didn't process any words properly, so forgive me, but thank you. Um,
Right.
where in North Carolina do you live? That was one of the places that I was, well, we were considering moving because of Duke University.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's see here. I'm just
and
gonna
of
say
course, I
Joy.
love Charlotte, so.
Joy, she says, I understand prices are high right now.
Well, prices too, but really it's just like um, not buying the things that you want at this point. You just buy the things that you need. You know, we when money was better, we could buy extra fruit and extra yogurt and you know, like, not that we don't have healthy snacks now, but now it's at the point where like, let's get the big container of Greek yogurt and break it up into little tiny cups of our own with fresh fruit. You know, like that kind of thing.
Okay.
But you know what? We have the time now. Jim has the time now. I mean, we are doing a lot of things around the house, but we have the time now to make, you know, meal prep or whatever if you want to call it. So
Let's
I'd
see
love
here.
to film a meal prep for you guys. That'd be fun.
Kathy
Sorry.
goes. Kathy goes to say, I'm actually 15. I was no. I am actually about 15 minutes from the Pfizer plant, but no damage at all towards my way.
Thank you. Oh my God.
She's about an hour east of Raleigh, Durham.
Oh, okay.
And I wanna address this one question I know is
Sure.
towards me. Simply Karen.
What was the
From-
question?
The question, well,
You have to say the question because not everybody can see the chat, and
Yeah,
then
I
you
know.
just answer. Oh, okay. Sorry.
she was saying, she was asking, how is the country off its kilter?
Oh.
Well, Simply Karen, in order for me to answer that, I would have to take over this
Well, I think
chat.
she means. I think she just means like, in what way do you think that just don't get into detail. Just like
Oh my
the
God.
country's out of balance, the country's financial things. Like,
Everything is wrong with this country.
James, I love you. You're so pigeon. She wants detail. She wants it specific. You're giving abroad again.
Oh, the attitude of a lot of people in the cities.
What kind of attitude in the cities?
Oh, here's Lisa. Just a lot of people in the cities. They're discourteous.
Oh.
You know, it's just
See,
like,
this is what she means. Like, what are you talking about? Hi, Ma.
between the discourteous people of the cities, how upside down this country has gotten with its financial basis.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that look. The country was founded one way, and it became something else, and it really upsets a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, the country was founded on equality and, well, with the intention of equality um, and freedom for all. And obviously, it went left immediately, and then went right immediately, and then back to left, and then back to right, and like, and I don't mean politically left and right. I just meant like it keeps veering off of what it was founded for. You know. And right now it is again. It's you know, it's unfortunately yeah. It's become way more capitalistic than I think that anybody ever intended. Even with slavery. Slavery was a very capitalistic time in the United States of America because it was really just about how much money that you could make and how much status and power you had. And we're back to that again. And I'm not saying we're back to slavery again, but we're back to that again. And honestly, not having a living wage for your employees is sort of slavery. I mean, obviously, you have to go to work, and your boss knows you have to go to work, and bosses have the attitude now that you need your job more than I need you. And ever since the pandemic, it's kind of thrown in a flip flop a little bit because people realize that they are valued. People have value. People
Yep.
do their job. They come in and do their job, but they still struggle. Like, you work 40 hours a week. You and your wife work 40 hours a week each, and you still have trouble putting food on the table and paying your rent. There's something wrong in society. There's definitely something wrong with society when that's the situation. That was the situation we were growing up. I mean, my mom did have a lot of kids and took in a lot of kids, but never asked for assistance. And this was in the 70s and 60s and 70s and 80s. And both of my parents worked full-time jobs, and we still didn't make ends meet. We still were below the poverty line, big time. And we didn't live in a huge house. We didn't live in an affluent. Well, I guess we did kind of live in a semi-affluent neighborhood, but it wasn't like a really rich neighborhood. We lived in the poor part of the rich neighborhood or whatever. So, it's just, that's not what, I don't think that's what the founding fathers intended when they, you know, started the country. Sorry.
Lisa says that she can't stay long. She's cooking for her own birthday party.
I know, right? That's messed up, man. She's making queso.
Yeah.
Making good queso. You putting beef in your queso today? I hope.
Haley,
I wish I was there. You know that, right? I hope you know that.
Haley's here. She says hi to
Hi, Haley.
us. Have I considered moving to another country? Hell yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Hell yes.
Just for like, I would be leaning more towards Germany now, but I was thinking about France. Ever since I saw, what's it called? It was called
We'll live on a border town.
Sicko. There's a Michael Moore made a documentary called Sicko about the healthcare in different countries, and I've been like, oh, I want to move to France. I'm like, when you have a baby, somebody comes to your house and does the cooking and the cleaning so that you can be on maternity, like take care of the baby. Oh my God, that's unreal. And it's like, yeah. And then everybody's like, oh, but the taxes are really high. Yeah, but you don't have any medical expenses. People forget that all the time when it comes to universal health care. Yes, the taxes will go up. But yes, then you won't have to ever worry about medical coverage or care or hospital visits or hospital stays or getting into a car accident or X, Y, and Z. So no, it ends up being cheaper in the long run. People just don't realize it. How much money they pay to their boss, to their job for their insurance. And even if they have full coverage, they still usually have a co-insurance or co-payment or, no, what's it called when they take the money out? Oh, a premium, but it's not really a premium. Anyway, that's not important. Lisa knows. She knows exactly the word I'm talking about. When you contribute your portion, your contribution, your insurance contribution, your co-payment. No, that's what you do at the doctor. Oh, it's bad. So go ahead, read comments.
There's one person who's not regular, so keep going.
Use your discretion. You want to go right ahead. Well, who is it?
Simply.
Oh, what's she saying now? She can ask what she wants. I'm not hiding anything.
Let's see what was that. Mary Long asks, have I thought about doing Uber or Lyft for a while? I've considered it. I mean,
let's be honest.
But to be honest with you, there's more need for me here at the house right now.
Oh, I didn't even mean that, but okay. But yes.
Then
what happened with DoorDash? Basically, Jim does have more difficulty driving places he's never been before, even with GPS. He can get frazzled and get lost easily, but that's just his ADHD. That's not treated yet.
Right.
So one of the things we did consider is I was like, if you want to do DoorDash, then I will drive around. I have no problem being places I've never been before, following the GPS and looking for houses. And I said, you can do the dashing. But right now, like he said, there is more need for him at home right now. So that's the hard part about that.
Let's see here.
But yes, we did consider it. Actually, I considered it before it even came to Rolla. before I started YouTube, I was like, oh, I would love to do that. I was,
She loves to drive.
I do, and I love to meet people. Like my mother was a cab driver, and I just love. I remember sitting in the front seat and just picking up people and having conversations, and then they remember you, and you're like, oh, I don't remember you. You're like, oh, your mom used to drive me in her cab all the time, and I'm like, oh, I remember now. Sorry.
Simply goes on to say maybe you could consider moving to another country instead of Colorado.
Well, if we could afford to,
Exactly.
I mean, that would be fantastic. It just
I
have to be
could
a
think-
warmer country.
Yeah, I can think of a lot of places I would love to move to outside of the U.S., but combination of money and linguistics.
What about Australia? They wouldn't understand you anyway, but you have a better chance.
Yeah.
The thought has not escaped any of us, honestly. For different reasons, we all feel the same way about the country, like that it's gone left of center in direction that we don't prefer to go. Just kind of ironic, but yeah. I mean, I'm
Okay, I'm gonna have to address this, and maybe you can back me up because.
sure. Are we
What-
just focusing on this person because there's a lot of other comments coming?
Oh
up.
no.
Oh, okay, no problem. I just making sure.
This one is from What Oh My Oh My.
Oh, hi.
And she says, simply Karen, better medical care in the U.S. than any other place. At least that's what I think. You have to be more. You'd have to be your own advocate.
What is she addressing? Because that sounds like a middle of a sentence or
Yeah.
comment. Did Karen say something about better medical care in the United States? Did Karen say something about medical care in the United States?
No,
Oh,
not that I
okay.
see.
There's a lot going by that you're not sharing with me. Is it conversations you're having with each other?
I think so, because I mean,
I see the big giant conversations going across on the screen, and I'm not.
Yeah.
He's not telling me any of them, and
because I'm trying to keep up with him. Why is my phone going off?
it's 12:30. You got a 12:30 alarm to remind you to switch to the next task.
I don't remember why I put it. But anyhow, oh, excuse me. Simply Karen is asking why her question angered me. You don't really anger me. It's just you're not following along with the narrative, and it's just kind of like.
What question?
I guess question about moving to a different country.
Oh no, it didn't anger anybody.
No.
I
It's
mean,
just-
in all fairness, we've all been born and lived here our whole lives. It's a very different country than it was when each one of us was born. And you weren't born here, right? But you know what I meant. Okay.
I know what you mean.
And it's one of those things you go like, that's a very young person mentality to just throw it out and get a new one as opposed to repairing it. And I was gonna say lazy person, but really it's a young person. We were a generation that grew up that, if it rips, you sew it. If it breaks, you tape it, you glue it. Like you don't
Yeah,
just throw it out and get a new one. And if the country is broken, if we think the systems are broken, that it's our responsibility as Americans to fix them. With votes and protests and congressmen and letting your being a constituent, being an American, standing up for the people who have less than you, your huddled masses, those things. That's what it's more responsible to do than just run away. But yes, the medical care in the world. And I know that we all think, as Americans, we think we're the number one, but really we're just number one in the terrible things. But there are places that have better medical research. France does amazing things with medical research. I don't know if they necessarily have any kidney cancer expertise, but just like when a person doesn't have to worry about their medical expenses in a place that has higher taxes, that's a big complaint. The doctors and researchers don't have to wonder where their money's coming from because it comes from the government. and they can get more research done. You know, they don't have to. We don't have to fundraise. The American Cancer Society wouldn't be in existence if we had universal health care, because they wouldn't have to fundraise for cancer research, and we wouldn't have to fundraise for cancer care. You know what I mean? So it's things that we take for granted here that we don't even know that are like other options. Like, oh wait, there's no cancer care in France. You know, like, no, there's not, because the government takes care of all that. So just to give you guys an idea, and you know, I can go back far as the 80s when it was the AIDS crisis. France was like the forerunner in research of getting like the treatments and the immunotherapies and all that stuff. I mean, that was a long time ago. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other countries that have different slash better medical than we do here in the United States. Now the difference is, here's something that people forget quite often: geography. I know that sounds fresh, and I'm not trying to be fresh or smart, but literally, like, I think France and Germany can fit in Texas. So when we talk about how there's better in the United States, no, there's just more. There's like a larger variety. There's larger options. You know, I think the United States of America is, I don't know, half the size of Europe, geographically speaking, of the entire continent. You know what I mean? So when you say, when you say all that stuff, like, yeah, and imagine what a small country could do. If a small country is in competition with this big giant country, what are we doing wrong? That's what I was trying to say. So go ahead. A whole bunch of questions and answers. Go ahead.
Mary Long says, I totally understand that, and hopefully when you move, he can get paid to take care of you.
Yes.
Then.
That's the hope, Mary. That's why we picked the state we picked. We'll find out more in a couple of months, but yes, we'll definitely know for sure.
Okay, Haley is actually answering what oh my's question, which is basically only better medical care if you can afford it.
Correct.
I've lived in the United States for a long time, and now back in the UK, and I get great medical care in the UK.
I didn't know Mary Long moved.
Okay, what oh my, I guess this is between what oh my and Haley, but it says, what kind of health care do you have there? Is it free? Mm-hmm. I've seen the UK medical shows, but no one talks about the cost money for you.
No. As a matter of fact, if you watch that documentary Sicko, he goes around to the it's the National Health System, so it's NHS, that's what they call it there in the UK. He goes to the hospital at the NHS and he's like, but wait, what about the cost? And he finds the cashier and he's like, see, I knew it, there is a cashier, and the cashier's there, and he goes, if they don't have any medical bills, what are you here for? She's like, oh, we reimburse travel costs right there on the spot. So like, if you not only do you not have a medical bill, but if it cost you money to go there, like parking or the bus, train, whatever it took you, they give you the money right back. So, and then I follow a lady in Germany who was not expat, but basically she married a German, so she's an expat now. Which, if those of you don't know, that's what they call people who move out of the United States, expatriates. But that's beside the point. So she talks about the difference, and she moved with she has an older son that's not from this husband, that has a developmental disability, and the treatment that child gets is leaps and bounds than here in the United States. And she talks about like the mandatory 2 weeks that you have off of work. The government says you have to take 2 weeks off vacation, because they care about your mental health. You need a break from your job. You need to take
psychological health.
Yeah. And if you don't take your 2 weeks vacation, there's like this thing that you have, like there's this whole like reprimand thing that, you know, and the bosses can get in trouble and everything. So it's kind of like, I don't know how they dealt with the pandemic at the time. I don't know how they dealt with doctors taking off when people were, like, during the pandemic. I don't know how that worked. She's never really mentioned it. That's a great question for me to ask her. Anyhow, but she talks about that a lot. She talks about taking the time off from work and how much help they get. you know, after you've had a baby and after, I mean, just it's so incredible. But again, it's the size of the countries. We have to compare geographically the size of those countries. How many people live in them compared to, you know, I think there's more people in Manhattan than there are in Germany, right? I might be speaking out of turn, but I think that's
I don't know. I'd have to.
statistically speaking, I think that's close. Um, but anyway, yeah. So it's things just to consider when you're talking about other countries as well. So
Susan Brown says, so, Jerry and Jim, have you started the process of purging?
oh yeah, we've been. Well, here's the thing. So I will address this if that's okay.
Go right ahead.
So we were purging before we thought we were going to move because we were just purging. We were just trying to do Swedish death cleaning when I found out I was sick. And a little bit before that, so right before I found out I was sick, we were doing a purge of like, my mental health felt better. We had lived here for about 7 years. I had a lot of the things like to let go of the trauma from the move and the PTSD from the floods. So I was able to finally say, look, this is all extra. I don't need all of this. So before I got sick, we started that. And then, and we did like this much purge. Then when I got sick, we did sort of like implemented a little bit of Swedish death cleaning, which is basically keep the things around you that you don't care what happens to when you go, but otherwise make sure you have given to your family and friends the opportunity to take what they want when you go, type of thing. Then that was like a this much purge. Like the first purge was here, the second purge was here. Now that we're talking about moving, you know, it's like let it go, get it ready. It's going to a garage sale. This time we're going to actually earn money this time instead of just donating it. So there's a couple of things I have to address. So when we get close to...
Bye, Lisa.
Bye, Ma. Have a happy birthday party. When we get close to getting close to the end, I do have to address a few things, if that's okay? Oh, go ahead. Questions.
Well, no, this is actually comments.
Oh, go ahead.
And I want to read them because they're very good comments.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mary Long says, Haley Edwards, I totally agree. Here in the U.S., it's all about money. I have worked in the medical field for years, and it's sad to say that money does get you better health care. Haley goes to answer and answers what oh my says, I have multiple health conditions and all my prescriptions are free and all my medical coverage is free. It's paid through the taxes.
Yes.
Which is what a lot of European countries do. Germany,
Sure.
England,
Mm-hmm.
probably
Germany
even
has
France.
fantastic healthcare. At least like, when we were there, it seemed like it was fantastic. Rosie.
Yeah, I remember all
But
that.
they pay 13% tax.
But that's not that much.
Yeah.
If you consider, and that's what I was just saying, you missed that part of the video. If you consider how much we pay in healthcare,
It's true.
you know, and
It's true.
how much of your Social Security that you put into this almost like retirement fund of Social Security
Even if you don't want to.
goes into your Medicare. You don't even get it back. It just goes straight into your Medicare for as you get older. Which, if you have universal health care, the NHS or whatever, then you don't have that. It really is a figures number, but it really does balance out. Universal health care balances out in the favor of the taxpayer, believe it or not, because it actually ends up, even business owners, they don't have to put in their portion of medical, you know, they pay their taxes. They don't have to put in their portion of covering your employee. Like, they don't have to pay the paid days off come from the government. They don't come from the business owner. So the business owner right now pays the person to not come to work for 2 weeks, however long your vacation is. That comes from the government in those countries. Not all of the vacation time, obviously, but the mandatory 2 weeks, it gets paid by the government. So there is a lot of benefits. And if you sat down with all of the numbers, they crunched the numbers at the end of the year. I said it's very difficult for here because of the size of the country we are, but it is definitely something that is doable. Sorry, Jim. You had more
Fine.
comments. Sorry.
Guess who's online?
Who?
Nelly.
Oh, hi, Nellie. Nellie
Nelly
messaged me the other day. I miss you too, Nellie. I do. She was commenting on a video.
Okay. Okay. What oh my says, Haley, that's better than us. Crap, we better get on the ball. And yeah, that's one of the reasons why this country, in my mind, has gone ass backwards. Because this country seems to be more concerned about the one percenters who have all the money and all that stuff, and anybody underneath the one percenters are just stepping stones. They don't give a crap about us. They don't give a crap about the white collar worker, the blue collar worker. We don't matter because to them, to the one percenters, we're not important because we're not billionaires.
Yeah.
But in Europe, they know if their people get
Right.
pissed off and decide to
The working class. Right?
yeah, the working class decide to
Rises
get
up.
pissed off and start rioting, the country's like, oh fuck, we gotta fix
Yeah.
this situation or we're screwed.
Exactly.
We don't think that way.
No.
Americans don't think that way. Haley says, oh, this is towards Lisa. Okay. What oh my is asking Sicko Michael Moore? Yes.
Yes.
Katie Driver, and it's
Kathy. Sorry.
Kathy Driver, sorry.
It's okay.
It's my understanding that a college education is also free in the UK.
Some places. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it's funny because here we look at college education as a privilege that you earn, and when your family's wealthy, then you work really super hard, or you're super smart and gifted. People forget that. Some people do work hard, but some people are just gifted. Jim worked his hiney off, and because they didn't recognize his learning disability or didn't accommodate for that, it don't make a difference how hard you work. You're only going to hit that glass ceiling.
Yeah.
However, what they realize is for the economy of the country, it's better to have educated people. Problem is, for the one percenters or the people who have the power, having uneducated people is better. Not having people not question the status quo. This is just the way it's always been. It doesn't have to. And first of all, it hasn't always, and it doesn't have to be this way anymore. It's better to keep people not uneducated and make them work really hard for their education. So, yeah, that's a lot. I mean, it's sad that we're not better. It's sad that we think we're the front runners of things, but we're really so far behind in certain aspects of the world. There's certain, look at the statistics of number one in education, number one in high school graduates, number one in, we're number one in prisoners per capita. We are number one in that. We're number one in, I know we're number one in gun deaths or something, but some other really
And-
harsh statistic, we're just
Right. Look at what's happened in the last 2 decades. Okay. We thought we were the number one person when it came to taking care of a country. No. We were number 16 in doing recycling. We were number 52 in natural resources, basically hydro, wind power, things that are truly renewable.
right.
We were number 52 in upgrading our computer systems.
That's really funny that Jimmy just made me think of something. I didn't mean to cut you off, sweetie.
No, that's all right.
But we talked about the geography of the United States and how much bigger it is. Could you imagine all of the natural resources we waste? How much solar power and wind power we waste just because people are afraid of it, or...
America's
or-
afraid of change. That's
Well,
the biggest
that
thing. Is
too.
America's afraid of change.
But when the ex-president gets on television and says that wind turbines cause brain cancer,
that Cheeto face don't know jack.
I don't mean that. I'm just saying. So it makes people scared that don't need to be scared. Do you know what I'm
Because
saying?
that's what he lives off. He lives off
Well,
making sure people are afraid.
It's not just him,
So
but
he can
anyway,
control 'em.
it's not just him. But anyway, what I'm saying is, this is how they keep us dependent on dirty fuel.
Yeah.
Because they tell us that the clean energy, when the new Greendale came out, or was proposed, excuse me, and they were people were like, oh, they're going to take my steaks away. No, they're not. They said that the cattle farmers have to pay more taxes. Now, if the cattle farmer decides to take your steak away, that's between you and the cattle farmer.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of methane in that cattle farms basically put in the air. So it was one of those things like, they're going to take my steaks and my hamburgers away. They're going to make it illegal. One thing I heard was they're going to make it illegal to have a hamburger. I'm like, what?
Nah.
What? I was like,
No, what they're gonna do is they're gonna make it so that the supply isn't there. It's not gonna be illegal, it's gonna be
well,
very
no, that's not
expensive.
what I'm saying. Exactly.
It's
What I'm
gonna
saying
be
is
more
that's
money.
not, again, that's not the government. That's saying that the person who makes, the guy who's got 5 houses and a ranch the size of Delaware needs to pay his fair share of taxes on what he's doing to the environment. That's all.
Yep.
If he decides to be greedy and pass the expense down to the person buying the steak, which we know from everything that's happened with since the pandemic, how prices have gone up with everything, is just that we cannot curb people's greed. We can't curb the greed. They're just taking the expense that's put on them from supply and demand and putting it towards the consumer instead of making less billions of dollars. Like, Elon Musk can still shoot himself into space. Like, why don't we all have Teslas? They don't cost that much to make. They don't cost that much to run. They're better on the environment. But we're going to charge everybody an arm and a leg because I need to shoot myself into space 12 more times and buy Twitter. Like, that's what you have to say to yourself out loud for you to realize that it's not even an us thing, it's a them thing, you know? It's like, what?
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing is America in whole is afraid of the federal officials.
Yeah.
When if it wasn't for us, there would be no federal official. No.
You think about Jeff Bezos and how much money that guy's got. You know, like, why doesn't Amazon do more charity work? And I know Bill Gates gets a bad rap for whatever little controversies happen, but that man is a philanthropist like no other. Him and his wife give and give and give. But it's not always everybody, you know. Sad but true. Sorry.
Nellie asked how's Oreo doing. Well, she's down for a nap.
Oh, yeah. So you missed Oreo in the beginning of the video. If you get a chance to go back and watch it, you could see her. But I wanted to start the video because Oreo had started to look like she was getting ready for her nap. So, first the guy came out with the John Deere across the street to mow the lawn. So that made her anxious. And then we tried to brush her and she kept trying to bite the brush. And all these things that she kept doing that looked like, oh, she's ready for her nap. She's getting nippy. Are we getting close to like where I have to talk about what I need to talk about, or how's the time?
We're over an hour.
Oh, great. So really quick, 2 things I have to talk about. I actually came on here to talk about what the oncologist said. But the first thing was we got turned down for the Amazon merch program because Amazon merch program wants you to have 100,000 subscribers collectively, and we're so close, but we don't. I have like, collectively I have like 85, like 90,000. So I'm probably going to end up doing that, oh, I just lost the name of it. Begins with a T. I know that I've had some positive and negative things about their quality, but a lot of YouTubers use it. Now that's what keeps coming into my head, honey. That's why.
Okay.
It keeps coming in, but a lot of YouTubers use it. It's just a merch program where the same thing, where you just submit your art and they keep the stock and then they send them out there. You just don't make as much money as you do on the Amazon merch program. But that's okay because this is really about having the family support.
Teespring, somebody said?
Teespring, yes, thank you. Yay!
That was from
did it.
Tammy.
Thank you, Tammy. I knew somebody would know it. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about what the oncologist said. So, first of all, it was really funny. This is the first time I saw my oncologist without a mask. Oh my God, he doesn't look anything like I thought he was going to. Even though I've seen his little face on the profile picture, he doesn't even look like that. So, Jim was coming with me, but then he ran home and had got like totally, I don't know, distracted or just...
Well, what it was is after dropping Mom off, getting back to the car, realizing we had like a red bar on the gas. So I stopped to get gas.
And a snack and a drink
Yeah.
and then something else. And you were talking to somebody or something.
No, just a snack and a drink after getting gas and coming up to
Oh.
get you.
You said something else. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
the oncologist said we were talking and I was talking about moving, and then I was talking about how I was thinking about Duke, and he shook his head because that was a really good choice. And I said, well, we're thinking about Colorado, and I said there's the university, Colorado's UCH, University of Colorado Hospital,
Yeah.
I think. It could be there's some kind of college. I don't remember. Anyway, I have it written down because I don't need to remember it. But there's in Aurora, which is just outside of Denver, which would be about 2 hours.
And you've got a viewer that's from up there.
Oh, hi!
She was on earlier in the.
Who?
Geez, I have to go all the way back up here to.
Oh, well, don't worry about it.
Chandra Hickle.
Oh, yeah.
Hinkle.
Hinkle.
Sorry.
That's okay. So, I talked to him about that, and then he said, well, why don't you, in the meantime, he said, why don't you go over to Barnes Jewish? Well, it's a couple of steps before Barnes Jewish, but he goes, why don't you, he goes, I told you I would refer you to a kidney specialist in the city if you want to go. And I was like, you know what, maybe that's a good idea. If I get a kidney cancer specialist here, and it's not really kidney cancer. It begins with a U, and it's this big long word, but it's basically all of the
Kidney, bladder.
No. Yes, but I was trying to remember the.
Huh?
What, Mom?
Euro something.
Yeah. No, I was trying to.
You
All of the
Urologist?
waste management.
Oh.
Basically, kidneys, bladder, urinary tract, like all that stuff. You know, all the things that are happening down here. There's a specialist, cancer specialty is basically, and it does have a really long U name. This is like the worst view. I look like I'm all boobs. Don't I? Is it the shirt? My father said don't wear horizontal stripes.
Well, that's right. I look
I also
like all
look like-
guts. So.
And I'm like with this little tiny head. Little head. I'm squishing your head. Anyway, sorry. So he put in a referral for me to go see the cancer specialist in the city to make sure that they take my insurance, but Medicaid, statewide Medicaid, usually all those big hospitals take. And we'll see, and we talked about a dermatologist. So the dermatologist here doesn't take Medicaid, the one that I was seeing, but she was able to see me right away. But paying her out of pocket wasn't a problem before, but obviously it's a problem now. So I told him, I was like, I really need to go see a dermatologist. They can help me get my skin better. I mean, yes, wounds, but if I need to do something to strengthen my skin so it doesn't keep ripping open, then that's what I need to do. He goes, well, actually they probably have somebody who is probably more associated with cancer patients, like basically a dermatologist that assists cancer patients in their side effects and stuff. So it's like you might actually have a better shot at that. So that's my next step. I'm just waiting for the Siteman. It's called the Siteman Research Hospital here in St. Louis. I'm just waiting for them to give me a call after I've gotten my file and set up an appointment and all those things. So.
What on my asked why we haven't gone to a food bank.
Oh, well, we have one. It comes twice a month. The first Wednesday and the last Saturday, or the first Saturday and the last Wednesday, something like that. We, thank God, do not need to right now, and that's it. We were considering. There's a local food pantry here that actually gives you can give you toilet paper and stuff like that. So we're kind of considering that for cleaning supplies and toilet paper. But right now we're okay. Mom's here and Mom's helping and somebody said give me a hug.
No, it's just more to love.
Thank you, Nelly. No, it's not even just like old fat. It's like, it's like the angle. Like I'm not really this big in person. But you know that because Jim's not this big in person. I just don't know what's going on with the angle of the camera. Anyhow, um, and if it comes down to it, like when we first moved here, money was hard because I couldn't get a job. And we did go to the food pantry. It was actually a food bank that came from Colombia once a month at the time. Now it comes twice a month. But yeah, I mean, we would consider it. Look, when we grew up, my parents had a lot of shame in asking for help, and I will not be that way. I will not let my family starve or eat really crappy food that's not nutritious for them on purpose. If they would choose to do that, that's a different story. But I'm not going to not ask for help and feed them macaroni and cheese and hot dogs. If you get what I'm saying, if you know, you know. But I don't have that kind of level of pride where it's dangerous, you know. Anything else?
Cynthia Karen asked, do we have food stamps?
Yes. I get food stamps because of my condition. Yes, ma'am.
And Nellie's giving me a thumbs up, I guess, for hugging you.
So food stamps is based on your income. So, you know, they basically say, oh, we think you only need X number to cover whatever. But remember, when it comes to feminine hygiene products, diapers, toilet paper, cleaning products, food stamps covers food, which is great. You won't starve to death. But you still have to come up with the money for the other stuff. And right now, Nanny is getting all the dog food. Technically, she's still on her last bag of dog food from when Jim was still working, because it's usually we buy the big bag and it lasts a little longer. But
What oh my is saying that there's no food banks where she is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I must have skipped that part.
What?
Oh, yeah, okay. I was wondering why I was getting that comment.
What?
I needed to read the whole comment, and I looked up and I went, what was I missing? And she put it up, what I missed, that she has no food banks in her area.
Oh. I gotcha. Oh, where do you live? No, your area. I thought that she was...
I don't know.
No, I thought she was here. Isn't she here, Wyoming? No, Virginia. Wait. It's so hard to remember where everybody's from. I'm sorry.
Captain Driver says, yeah, I always thought that was strange. You can buy all the candy you want with food stamps, but no toothpaste.
Now, back in the day, I'm not going to lie, you couldn't. That changed. You weren't even allowed to buy soda. You weren't even allowed to buy sugary cereals on food stamps. I know this because maybe that's just in New York. I know this because I was a cashier at a supermarket when I was 16. And we actually had a special button for non-tax grocery, which is basically produce. Anything that's not bad for you was a non-tax grocery. Anything that's bad for you had a tax on it. So then you couldn't buy them using food stamps. So that made a huge difference. Go ahead, I'm sorry. You weren't allowed to buy candy. You can't buy beer, obviously. You can't buy alcohol. But
nowadays you can.
You can buy soda. You can buy sugary cereals. You can buy crap.
Yeah. Nellie says we have food pantries at our church up in Lancaster, New York. I think it's great.
Yeah.
You know, I think it would be great because, I mean, on a biblical sense, you know, Jesus taught the apostles to give to the needy and the poor. Yeah. And nowadays that concept has gone out the window.
Yeah.
Not a lot of churches will do food pantries. Not a lot of churches will help the needy the way people need help.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have here in Rolla, we have, I don't know what it's called, but it's basically, it's a combination of, you know, they'll give out meals to the homeless, and they're also a shelter at the same time.
Oh, the Mission. It's called the Mission.
The Mission, okay. And I know
it's at the Vineyard Church, yeah.
Yeah, I know it's in one of our churches here in town. The Vineyard, you said? Okay. So, and I know from time to time they they do food drives.
Yeah.
You know, trying to
And
collect.
Jim actually worked with somebody at one of his jobs that was living there. Remember, we used to drive her home.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
I drove her home once or twice.
yeah, and was that when we? No, then we gave her donuts from the store. The donuts you were gonna throw out. She brought them to the mission that time, right?
Right.
One of Jim's jobs that he used to work, they used to give the old donuts to the homeless guys if they were hanging around the gas station or whatever. But she was like, just took them to the shelter with her, so it was kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, it's funny. We want to be apostles when we're apostles when we tell others what they should and shouldn't be doing, but we're not apostles when it comes to the charity work.
No. It's strange how people can be.
Yeah, it's. Oh.
Oh, they also give out gift cards during the holidays. Our church here is wonderful.
Well, yeah, the church here, that mom's church that I participated in when I first moved, I delivered a couple of Thanksgiving meals. We put together big Thanksgiving baskets, and they had gift cards in them too. Definitely at Christmas time.
Yeah.
And then we used to adopt a foster child from the Show Me Kids, like the foster care center. We did that a couple of times, and yeah, just do what we can and when we could, especially, you know.
Yeah.
But anything else?
Well,
Anybody have any questions about like cancer care, back wounds, boo-boos, none of that stuff? Just ask before we go. Otherwise, we're probably just gonna go, because you know I'm out of coffee, and we don't like to talk when Jerry's out of coffee.
We don't like to talk when Jerry has
Oh.
coffee.
Hey, you know what I mentioned once before? Jim accidentally picked up orange Miralax, and it was really good in my coffee. It's weird, but it reminded me of like my father used to have Frangelico in his espresso. I've told this story 1,000 times. I'm sorry, but what I've been doing is I get Arizona's diet green tea with the little, and he puts the Miralax in the diet green tea in my Hello Kitty cup from Sharon, and it's so good because it's orange and the green tea has got like a citrus. It just enhances it. It tastes really good. Can I have a tissue? Can you reach? Oh, you're gonna answer a question. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'll do it.
Sorry, I didn't even realize I picked a scratch and now I'm bleeding.
What oh my asks if I. Basically, he says,
She.
Jim. Oh, she. Sorry.
That's okay.
She says, "Are you able to play your game systems?"
He's
Once in a
able
blue
to.
moon. I mean, it's.
You're always able to. You just
Yeah.
don't choose not to. That's the
Right.
difference. Okay.
Right. I do once in a blue moon because I just, you know, it's like I need to separate myself from reality because, you know, it's either I've had a stressful day or I'm just too tired to do anything but play.
Right. And sometimes his body, sometimes his brain is asleep and his body's awake, and sometimes his brain's awake and his body's asleep. And when those times, that's when he plays his video games, because he could just sit there and let his brain do all the work. But you play a lot on your iPad. That's,
Yeah, I do play on my iPad during
What
breaks.
do you have? No, at night. You playing Oregon Trail on your iPad? So he's playing his game systems,
Yeah.
but not really just on the systems. He plays them on his iPad too. Which, by the way, we'll have to change the Wi-Fi on that too.
What? Oh, on this?
On your iPad too, Mom?
On my iPad, my television's not working.
Oh.
Okay, so we got a lot
okay.
of technical work to do.
Yeah, we got to do some technical busy work today. So we're gonna go anyway because it's been a
Yeah.
really long time. Anybody have questions? I saw stuff pop up.
Let's see here. Nellie has a question.
Yes, ma'am.
She says, I have a question. When are you two going to Lancaster, New York to visit me? Ha 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 ha.
Yes, not soon enough.
Yeah.
I also have a friend that lives in the Hudson Valley that I want to go see really bad. So definitely, can I have another tissue? Definitely World Tour 2026. Just kidding. Can I have another tissue, baby? I'm sorry.
Oh.
It's not stopping.
Ah.
Welcome to cancer. Doctor's like, do you have any bleeding issues? No, it's okay. Oh, you got a whole bunch?
Yeah, I pulled out a whole bunch.
I'll
Why
put
don't
them
you just hold those?
Sorry.
Let's see here. What is this? Haley Edwards asks, "Are you able to eat okay now, Jeri-Ann? Is your mouth doing better?"
No, not at all. It's the same. It's horrible. It comes and goes. It has no rhyme or reason. Trigger warning, warning alert. My inside cheeks are totally swollen.
Oh, it's
I'm not able to.
JD8 or JD mailman.
I'm not able to brush with a toothbrush. I can't get a toothbrush in there, so I have to use that mouth rinse, which burns, but at least it's effective. Um, I mentioned it in the car chat that Jimmy gave me breakfast sausage the other day, and it was killing me. And I had some tried again yesterday, and I was able to eat the breakfast sausage that I could dip in the egg yolk, like because it kind of coated it. But then when I was done with egg yolk, no, I couldn't have any more. So.
All right, we got 3 more
Questions.
comments.
Okay.
Questions. What oh my says, Jerry, believe me, I understand a lot of what he's going through. It's a shame some people are born like that. I don't even know how to answer that.
I don't know what she's referring to, so.
I guess, I don't know.
With your ADHD?
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Jim was born like that, so yeah.
Let's see here. JD Mailman says, don't they have a wound care specialist in your hospital?
Yeah, that's what I
Ours
see.
does.
I see a wound care specialist. That's what I see once a week. However, Rolla's not a very big city compared to St. Louis, so there's a lot less people that have these types of wounds caused by these types of medications for these types of treatments for these types of cancers. So going to a place that's has more experience with it will probably be better. So.
To continue his comment, ours does. Grandma had sugar problems and a wound that wouldn't heal. Ended up being cancer, and they fixed her completely.
Aww.
What oh my says, Jim, take care of yourself so you can take care of the other people in your life. Yes, that's
Yes.
what we're trying to do now.
Yes.
Jeri-Ann has been good to give me time to.
I make him have time.
Well, yeah, that.
Yesterday was, I said, go in your office and go undo whatever is happening because it was taking it out on the family. And I'm like, I see that you're stressed out about something. Just go have time to yourself. I'm Germany, and he needed his 2 weeks vacation. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Karen, simply Karen says, why haven't you gone to the proper treatment for your mouth? I can't stand that going on so long.
I have. I see an ENT, and I see the wound specialist for my mouth, and there is nothing that they can do that they're not already doing. The only thing that my ENT is standing off from is doing a biopsy. She said, you're already having trouble eating with your mouth with limited food, and unfortunately the food that I can eat is not really great for me. Because even now at this point, I'm like, steamed Brussels sprouts were the best, but now I have to actually eat the stems, take the stems off the steamed Brussels sprouts. Same thing with broccoli. Over steamed broccoli was my favorite, and now it's like I can't eat the stems, which is another story together. But other than doing a biopsy on my tongue and ruling out anything nefarious, like other than it being cancer or a tumor, is what she was saying. I have the treatment that causes the relief. I have the treatment that coats it. I have the treatment that cleans it. It's just nothing's really making it go away. It's a hard spot, the mouth, they say, because of the usage. You know, you need it to breathe, you need it to eat, you need it to talk, you need it to everything.
Well, technically, you don't need your mouth to breathe. You can breathe through your nose if you don't have problems like allergies or,
or a perforated
seasonal.
septum, so now my nose holes aren't as big as they should be.
Let's see here. What oh my says, bipolar and ADHD.
Oh, people are born with that. That's what you're talking about. Yeah. I'm glad he's getting treatment for some of it. I do wish he gets the ADHD treatment. I really wish he would talk to his doctor about that, because I did find it very helpful for me when you can get the medicine.
next time I go. And then, of course, what oh my says, Jim, do you also have bipolar still? Yes.
I think you will forever,
Um,
don't you? A person, you don't really heal from bipolar disorder.
No. Once
Oh.
you're diagnosed with bipolar, you're basically bipolar for the rest of your life.
Well, I don't know if that's true. I'm asking you. Are you saying
well,
that
that's
like you know? Oh, okay.
well. I was told that I would probably be bipolar the rest of my life
Oh, okay.
unless there's a change in the way my brain is wired. Basically,
Oh, I see.
that's what I was told.
But he's on treatment for that, so
Yeah.
that's much better.
Jeri-Ann, when he gets like that, tell him to go take a break and go relax.
I do. That's what I'm saying.
But remember, Jim, it's not them but you that needs to relax.
Yeah.
We did that yesterday.
Yeah, that was.
Let's see here. Simply Karen says, "Oh, I thought you had already had a biopsy."
Not on my tongue.
Yeah.
Just
The
on my
wound,
skin.
yes,
Yeah.
but not the tongue.
The cancer, the wounds. The cancer, the rash, those were biopsied. My tongue, no, it was not.
Bipolar is a miserable disorder, and
Ain't that the
would
truth?
never wish it on anyone, but not everyone understands how bad it gets.
Yeah.
Jerry's learned.
I'm learning. Well, I've had other bipolar people in my life before, so it was easy to.
Jim, you need to step up for the doctor to help you.
Yeah.
Yes, Jim, you are bipolar in the rest of your life.
Right,
For the rest of your life. It is getting.
Yeah, it's way too long. It's going to take forever to upload, which I'm not mad at you guys
Hour
for,
and a half,
obviously. I
almost
really
an hour.
do love these types of chats, and I'm glad we did an impromptu Saturday morning one because I really wanted to fill you guys in on that 2 pieces of news. So thank you all for joining us. I love you. And if nobody's told you that you're loved, you can always come by and hear how much we love you very much. And I see a big giant comment come across.
Yeah,
Is it just
I'm
saying
not even
goodbye?
going to read
Okay.
the name because it's a long name.
Okay.
It says, if the wounds are caused by chemotherapy, why are they only on pressure points from laying in bed?
They're not. They're on pressure points from the brace. Do you remember when I first had my brace? Because they were here and between my legs. Just to remind you, yes, they were on friction. What do they call it? High friction areas. That's what the dermatologist called it. They're on high friction areas. So not from laying on the bed, because if that was the case, it would be all over my arms. Or on my chest, honestly, more because I actually sleep on my stomach. They're from the brace, and they just are not healing. They were the largest areas back there because my brace, basically, when I sit back on it, the way that they created the chest cups, there was room in my chest, but there was abrasion under my arms. But the back area was what was having the most pressure put on it. So
Yeah, well, this person continues to say, Jerry, you need to start being honest. This is ridiculous.
I don't know what we're referring to.
No, neither do I.
Okay. We do know that the back wounds aren't healing as much because of pressure points, but literally that's one of the reasons I had a meltdown the other day. I was at the wound care lady, and I was like, it's getting to the point where that's why I sat up, keeping my shoulders off of a chair surface is causing my spine to ache where the tumor is, because I'm curling. I'm basically in terrible posture, which is really bad for your lower back. And it's getting to the point where I'm like, I'm just done. I'm done feeling like crap. I'm done having all the boo-boos. I'm done being sick. I'm just done,
Yeah.
So
I understand.
yeah, that's why my big meltdown. That's why I need more antidepressant.
Yeah.
So
What oh my goes to say, Jeri-Ann, I understand, believe me, I'm a caretaker. Or
yeah,
caregiver, excuse me.
it's okay.
And then she goes to say, smile more.
Yeah, it's hard when you're hurting and the smile looks fake. That's my big thing. That's why I don't vlog as much. When I'm genuinely feeling like I can smile past the pain. Then I shared that, guys, with you, like the first year or 2.5 of the journey. It was easy to smile past the pain, but now the pain's gotten to the point where it's worse. I just feel like I have a fake smile. Unless Jim makes me laugh, and then it's genuine. Sometimes he makes me laugh, and he's like, "That was funny." I was like, "I know, I'm laughing. I am."
We have a couple people saying goodbye. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. I love you too.
What oh my says that I should do. Well, basically, Jim, do some videos this week, even if you're just reading out loud.
Oh, okay. That's fun.
And then Nellie says, Jim, do more cooking videos.
Yes. We need to do meal prep. We want to make the Dunkin' Donuts egg thingies. So, Mom's like, yes.
Well, then, in fact, we can record doing the muesli, and we can record doing dirt.
Yeah. Well, I already filmed dirt. You can do dirt though.
Okay.
All right, guys. We love you. Oh, grab it down here. Lower to the base. As always. I tried to lean forward to grab you and it wasn't working. As always, you take care. God bless. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Sorry for the wiggle.
Oh, good Lord.
What are the rest of the comments?
What oh my is saying, Jerry, I am in pain 24 hours a day, but you lighten up